And now, part 5 of Carve a Simple Santa Ornament. In part 4 we left off with still some ragged edges, but we worked on the hat a lot. We kind of footballed the eyes and cleaned things up. It's time to finish up the beard and get close to where we're going to part it away from the block that we're using to hold it. Go in around the bottom of the beard where we're going to part it away, and again just using V cuts. Shave the beard down. Give it some shape, give it some depth, give it some wrinkles. This is kind of what some people call an icicle type ornament. There are a lot of others. I did a whole book of patterns that I give to students who take classes. It's not refined, it's not published, it's drawings that I made and assembled and copied and put together in a book. There's angels, there's snowmen, there's Santa figures, a lot of neat stuff. And as I said, they seem to be pretty well received, especially as gifts. Actually, some of them, I go back to the people's friends, family, people that I work for, do jobs for. I'm a carpenter, and I find that they have them hanging on a light chain, a light pull chain, the end of a curtain rod. They don't put them away. So I do believe that people enjoy them. Not just at Christmas time, but year round. Cleaning up, continuing to clean up. I'm not going to spend all the time that it's going to take to clean up. I think you have the idea there. I already am finding that there's pretty much dead time in the video while I carve and don't have a whole lot to say. I guess that's part of the carving experience for me. I don't have to do a whole lot of talking. I can just relax, let my mind and thoughts wander. Keep shaping. Work your way around the bottom, getting ready to part it off the block. Should you choose, since it is an icicle kind of style ornament, you could take the rest of the block and carve a shape in it, carve the year in it, and let it hang underneath this. I haven't done that, but just a thought that I had right now. Might be something for future carvings. Coming around the back now. Kind of tapering the beard down into that curve I have at the bottom. Don't have to. knife to cut those hairs away, make a stop cut. And eventually, we're getting pretty close now. Free that carving from the holding block. I guess holding block's a good name for it. It's better than a holding cell. Anyway, just continue until that's about free. And once again, look at all these miscuts. See how I have to go back and forth? I'm going and laying the hairs down that way, but here I have to come the other way to make it match. And when I don't meet completely even at the bottom, it lets a line. If you want to, you can sand those lines out later, work with little pieces of sandpaper. I've done that. When I first started carving, I used to spend hours and hours and hours sanding and getting everything smooth. Maybe it's because I'm a carpenter and you're used to having to sand the trim and the finish and the cabinets that you build. Sand them really nice and fine and get great finishes on them. But actually, as time went on, I began to realize this almost doesn't look as though it's a carved piece. They were starting to look a little plastic, especially if I painted them. And I found that as time went on, I really preferred seeing at least light, the facets from the hand tool, from the knife or the gouge. So that's your choice. Now, one piece of advice I can give you: don't pick up the sandpaper and sand until you're completely finished with your cutting tools. It's not terrible, but the abrasives from sandpaper, emery cloth, stones, they tend to fall off and stick in the fibers of the wood, and then in turn they dull your tools. So try to avoid sanding if you can. Now, if you're going to use little files and rasps, that's not so bad. Their teeth pretty much stay where they are. Right now, I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm going to let that on because I want to do a few other things, and I want to do a little more cleanup. Like I said, I'm not going to film all the time I spend cleaning up. I think you have the idea of the cuts and the shape and where to make them just the way things are. I don't think I have to run the video longer than it needs to be in order for you to see me make those cleanups. Simple thing with the cleanup is just lighter cuts. And again, try to finish like both sides of a V cut or a stop cut and a slope cut. Try and make sure they finish right at the bottom, that nothing gets cut past, no overcuts. And that's how you'll start to eliminate some of the fuzzies and the ragged looking work. In the next video, we'll maybe talk about the eyes and a few more features in the face, and possibly about using a little X-Acto knife. I'm trying to keep it all fairly inexpensive. You can buy these at the craft store, the art store, for not a whole lot of money, hobby store. And the blades are disposable and fairly inexpensive as well. Before we go into that though, just quickly, how to hang it. I use my Dremel tool, but you can use a drill, and I just have a brad, a skinny nail, like a finish nail in it. And I'm going to drill in and then what I usually do with these is take a piece of fishing line, good old monofilament fishing line, put it in a hole, maybe I should have used a larger brad. I'm really struggling with that. And then from the block down at the bottom, on a small tapered pin, put a little bit of glue on it, force it in the hole, and then trim it off. Now be careful when you trim it off so that you don't cut the line. But if you do, that's all right. You can start over. I haven't done it with these, but with my turned ornaments, I use these earring gadgets that you can get at the craft store. And I imagine you could do the same thing. They come, and I would trim that down, cut that wire off, or you could fold it over. And then the earring hoop. And I usually put just a little clear epoxy on those. And you can make a hanging device from that. So, a couple different ways to make a hanger for your Santa Claus or any other ornament. Anyway, keep plugging away at it. I'm going to take a break from it, give you a chance to mess with yours, maybe go back and forth, watch where my hands are, watch how the cuts are going. If you have a reasonably nice piece of material, I think you'll actually have a little better go of it than I'm having. Thanks again for watching, and like always, please, if you can, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And let me know what you think. Let me know where I can improve. Let me know what I can do better. Have fun. Stay tuned for part 6.